came to Jesus as I was.
My name is Jaden Bower, the current Vice President of Antioch Baptist Church Youth Ministry. This week on Something About Jesus with special guest Pastor Hobbs, we will be discussing the pandemic. We will also be discussing Black Lives Matter and school. So, hello, Pastor Hobbs. How are you?
I gotta unmute myself. Okay, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great.
So first off, how you feel about the pandemic?
Well, when you say the pandemic, there's two sides to it. I mean, one, of course, is the horrible side of the sickness, of the disease that has captured many lives, and we've lost so many people to it. The other side, of course, is that it's slowed us down. It slowed the world down, not just, New Jersey, not just us, but I mean, the entire world had to slow down and reassess and look at their lives and I'm hoping we're all looking at God a little differently. I mean, come on, you just had to be, nothing but God could shut the whole world down. Like Jesus, like, all y'all just take go to your room.
Yeah.
Everybody just chill for a minute, cover your face, do whatever you have to do. So, there's that side that, so if you're doing it right, you're social distancing, you're covering, keeping safe as you possibly can, and that taking that time to concentrate on God, man, I think it's nothing better than that. It's, we ought to come out so much better, so much closer to God, and rethink our lives. Yeah.
So do you think the government had anything to do with the pandemic?
You know what? From the very beginning, there was all kind of speculations about what happened, how the pandemic, who did it, the government, its place and stuff. I don't know if I can get down with all those different theories. I mean, the bottom line is, I don't even think the government, because, you got all kind of governments. So you're saying every country in the world got together? They can't even get together in a room and agree to nothing. How are they going to get together to put out a virus of this sort? I'm going back to, this is just God, and he's talking to everybody. I wouldn't put it past some evil people to try to kill folks, but this seems like they're getting killed too.
So, sorry. Mom. Mom. Yes. You're on a conference.
You're on television.
My computer, man. That's my mom, everybody.
That was perfect. That was perfect timing.
Okay, let's move on to the second topic. How do you feel about Black Lives Matter?
Well, being Black, of course, I'm very pro Black Lives Matter. I think it was a wonderful slogan. When I was young like you, back in them days, used to call us, we wasn't Black, we was colored and Negroes. And it was James Brown that came and said, "Say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud." And it was with that one song and with that one movement, we went from colored folk, Negroes, to Black, to African Americans, to Balalians, to all kind of things we've gone through over the years. But the main thing that stuck was Black, and now we're back to Black lives. Not only are we Black, but our lives matter. I think though we have a lot of work to do on both sides. It's a lot of education. We're getting so much support all around the world. That's the thing that's like, to me, blowing my mind. countries are protesting, and I mean other countries that, like, they don't even have that many black people, but they're still
Yeah.
understanding that this is about hatred. It's not really about simply the color of your skin, because you know what, hatred doesn't stop. If they killed all the black people, next they come after all the Chinese people. They're coming after all the Jews. They're coming after. So it's just our turn at the moment. And so if you let hate go, it'll be you next. And so I think they're seeing that, and I think it's a great opportunity for discussion around the whole world that the kind of evil that we are experiencing in this United States, we have to confront it, and we have to be diligent. So I'm hoping you guys, young people in particular, y'all got to be diligent. Don't give up. Don't stop. Don't get tired. You know how we are. After a couple of months, like, well, something else is going on now. Don't let nothing else deter you from this movement, because it has to be a movement that also goes to even us, and I'm not talking about I'm not talking about just the fighting. People say, well, why are we shooting each other? Well, that's because they was mad. I mean, people, all kind of people shoot each other. It's not relegated to just black. But I think the thing that we do as black people, and we need to watch, is when we have black politicians, black leaders, preachers, and all that, that they are making sure that they're taking care of their people. That the worst thing is to have a politician or have a government that's black, and black people still don't get no jobs. They're black, and black people still not getting an opportunity. So it's more than just stop shooting us. Stop, also let us eat at the table. Let us get an opportunity to get ahead, so that we're not out on the streets gang banging, stealing, selling drugs. That we now can have regular jobs like everybody else, and that be part of the healing. So yeah, that's a deep movement. I'm glad to see it, though.
Is this movement something you are participating in now? And if so, how?
I don't know, to what extent. I mean, I'll certainly support it in every way possible. If they need some resources, some money, some all that. My marching days is pretty much over. My throwing bricks, hitting people in the head, running. I can't run. They will catch me in about seconds. So I'm not gonna be out there doing no.
We gotta save it for the young guys.
Yeah. So we do like I mean, we'll do like you saw how King and them did back in the day. They walked to the front, but they didn't do all the young cats was doing a lot of the organizing. We got to keep perspectives. Sometimes we see that one person in front, and we think that person did it all. But let me tell you, by having been there, it was hundreds of thousands of young people that made that work, and the old heads just got to talk to the president and all that, because the young people would have came acting too wild. So they said, let's talk to King, and then because and that's how things got moved. So let's not get it twisted. Those guys did a lot, but it was mostly the young people that made it pop.
Man, because I think also I think young people would make like the world a better place, because they have so much motivation, and they have so much technology nowadays.
Yeah. And I mean, that's always been the case since the beginning of time. But think about it. Jesus, right? He was 30 years old. That's pretty young. When this whole movement, all the guys he's with. So we saw Jesus and his 12 disciples. So when you saw the 13 of them rolling in the streets, that probably got people like, who are these kids running up here talking about they're gonna save the world? But didn't they do it? They did it too, right? And so that's, it wasn't a whole bunch of, you see some movies, a whole bunch of old heads with long beards. All that. No, that's not what went down. It was this young guy who came with the story that he is the Son of God, and he called people, called even younger guys to come and follow him, and they did, and they did the work. And so you're right. You guys, it's your turn now. Everybody gets a turn at bat, and now you up. Just don't strike out. Hit it out the park.
Yeah. So now that with this pandemic, a lot of jobs and schools have closed down. Do you think that's good or bad for the community? as
Well,
far as like, if you understand. You understand?
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, all right, history repeats itself, right? So
Mm-hmm.
1918, what happened in 1918? 1918, they had what they called at that time the Spanish flu. Somebody always trying to blame it on somebody. This time we try to blame it on the Chinese. Back in the day, they tried to blame it on Spanish. They got to find a blame. But the Spanish flu killed a lot of people. People was wearing masks, right? All kind of stuff was going on. At the time when that flu came, they went to the 1920s, right? In the 1920s, everybody had money. They called it the Roaring Twenties, right? They was partying, having a good time. The flu came, and after that, we had the depression came, and so the depression, people lost their jobs. It was a bad time in this country. Are we faced with that again? Possibly, but we weathered the storm before. We weathered again. You know, every day ain't sunny. Some days it's sunny, some days have rain. So you just gotta have your raincoat, your rain gear when it start raining. Hopefully you saved up some pennies because it can get tough financially. Yeah.
So we have a question from Brother Michael at Micah. What are your thoughts on churches opening up soon?
What's my thought on churches opening up? I mean, my truest thought. Now, since we talking, I'm being real. My thought is always this. I never dreamed that this would happen. Right? Never in a million years I thought that the churches would be closed, that we'd have a pandemic. I didn't even know really what a pandemic was. I mean, I knew the word, but I certainly never lived through one, never experienced it. I have a hard time living in the future or the past. All I can do is live in right now. Right now, can we go in? Nope. Do I have a pathway to get in? No, because I have no idea when it's safe to go to the movies, it'll be safe to go to church. When it's safe to go, right, everybody to go hanging out in restaurants, it'll be safe to go to church. So everybody, it's not like church is the only ones closed. Everybody is feeling some pain. And thank God that Jesus is portable, He don't just stay in the church. He stays in everybody's heart. And so he go with you, And so if it opens back up, and when it opens back up, we're gonna have to deal with, the ramifications. Is everybody gonna even be down? Yeah.
Okay, we have another question from Zach. What challenges have come with having to conduct service over live stream?
Actually, the challenge is for old heads like me to learn the technology, but and to get used to the technology, get used to talking to a screen as opposed to people. But the flip side of that is, and we talked about it Sunday for a moment. All right, so I'm in Antioch. Let's say I'm staying in Antioch. But before COVID, the best I could do is fill up Antioch, right? And when Antioch is packed, we was all happy. But you know what? That might be what? 200 people, maybe 150, 200 people to fill it. It would be packed. Now, even this program right now, we could hit hundreds of thousands of people. So it's just how many people we can attract to the show. And so now you have so much greater opportunity to tell people about Christ than you did when you were forced to have people come inside. Now we got to go outside, and that's so bigger. So so we got to think bigger. We got to think more, more globally, and then not just think about our one little setting. But let's think about taking this word to the world. And now before we talked about it, now we got to do it. Either that or you don't do nothing. You just chill. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so we have another question from Samantha. How do each of you feel about online church service?
You first.
Go ahead. Let me go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I actually like it. The reason why is because I'm not a morning person. So I could go to sleep, I could sleep however long I want to sleep, and then they'll still be online, so I could just watch it then.
I'm with you. No, and I personally love it as well because, I mean, we had a lot of rules and regulations, how to dress and all that. Even when y'all see me, I could have a tie and jacket on. I could have shorts on. You don't know. So shorts is because nobody knows what's happening behind it. It's more relaxed, and people, like you said, people can take breaks between. So you can. So it's really, in many ways, just has a lot of upsides. And the downside is I miss you guys. We miss the physical.
Oh, I miss you too.
Seeing everybody. Yeah, but I think that might be, hugging and kissing all that. Everybody be like, nah, I'm not down. Everybody just I give you a little pound. That's about it. And so, hey, rest in peace, hugs and kisses. Rest in peace, because it's dead. Dead on arrival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there any more questions for today? Actually, we have 15 more minutes. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you a question then?
You can ask me any question.
Yeah. Well, a format like this where you have an opportunity to showcase what you could do, and also you can bring different guests in. Where do you see this going in terms of, and do you see, and it's a two-part question, where do you see this going, and do you think that you can get that a lot of young people your age will be interested in something like this?
So yes, I think this show is gonna go very far, especially if we get a lot of content and post it at the right hours. And secondly, I think that kids will actually like this, especially if you have like topics that they're willing to listen to. So I think it's good.
Cool. Are you ever gonna play drums on the show?
Mike, Mike got it first, man. Man.
Bring your band. You open up the show with your band, man.
Yeah.
That'd be hot.
Yeah, we'll do it too, man. Just gotta figure out how to mic everything.
I know you would.
Mhm.
We got you. Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. So that's the end of Something About Jesus. Thank you very much. And we will be having another one next Tuesday with a special guest. Stay tuned.